Yo, this is your first time here, welcome. Been here before, welcome back. Today we're going to be running over the Razer Tartarus V2. I have always been a controller player, wanted to try and move to keyboard and mouse. I'd seen the Tartarus, thought I'll give it a shot. Main draws to it for me were like the little joystick thing that's on it, and the fact it's kind of separate. It just makes it a little bit more like a controller, in theory. Now this was more specifically so I could learn on Warzone and use it on other stuff as well. Not what I've ended up using it for. However, today I'm just going to go for a bit of an unboxing, the features, what I think it, the usual in this type of stuff. As always, subscriber count currently above 600, which is mad. If you do enjoy my content, please click that subscribe button, like, comment, do what you need to do, road to 1,000 by the end of the year, potentially. But anyway, I won't waste any time, let's get straight into it. I bought this from Amazon a little while ago. Can't remember the price, 100 quid, something like that. This much. Felt like a bit of a sting, but Razer gear, always like Razer gear. It is RGB, looks quite good. So I ordered it, let's get it unboxed. Here we have the Razer Tartarus V2 Mecha Membrane Gaming Keypad. Exciting as always, love the Razer stuff. What does the box say? All new Razer Mecha Membrane, 32 fully programmable keys, Razer Chroma customizable lighting, which is always going to be a go-to for me. Anyway, let's get it open. Remember, careful with knives. There she is. That beautiful packaging as always. Nice. I'm assuming after we did the Razer Wolverine last time that there will not be much in the box. But let's have a look. So this is attached. Just this and the cable. We have that same kind of foamy shit and nothing else for me to look at, really. Instructions. For gamers by gamers. Congratulations and welcome to the next level of gaming domination. Blah blah blah. Nice. Razer Tartarus V2. And the classic stickers. Yes, shiny ones this time. Good. So there she is. Nice ergonomic wrist rest. Cool foamy pad. We have a tactical thumbstick here. A nice little... Ooh, that's next level crazy like. There you have it. So as you can see, it's a cool looking piece of kit. And like I mentioned at the start, I originally bought this to make the jump from keyboard and mouse to controller. I tried so much to just use the keyboard and mouse, tried different keyboards, tried different mice. Didn't really work for me. I don't know what it was. And I just in my head, I thought that it was maybe the joystick. So I thought, right, I'll use this for the joystick. So let's go into that first. The joystick. It's pish. It's impossible to use, for me anyway. I just kind of get my head around the way that it moves. And obviously, if you imagine a joystick on a controller, it's got directional points all the way around. So for example, if you go up diagonal, then your character will move up diagonal. With this, it is mapped to just like WASD, so up is just forward, there's no in between, and left is left, there's no kind of diagonal. So that makes it a little bit different. Also, it's mechanical, so it might as well just be a D-pad, because essentially how they've done it is just a D-pad with like a stick on the top, and so it moves it that way. So just not what I expected. However, ignoring that, taking the thumbstick off, as far as keyboard and mouse stuff go, it's got this contour where you set your hand on it, nice rest for your hand that moves. For big hands, like I've always mentioned, like myself, it moves 2 positions, and then it's got this little contour that just means that it sits underneath your hand like this, and it's extremely comfortable. You could sit there all day. Nice, ergonomic. I prefer it to an actual keyboard. And what I've then started using it for then, as opposed to gaming, I'll get to the gaming section in a little minute, but now it's become my go-to for Premiere and video editing, and I use it for that all the time because I've got sort of maybe 7 or 8 specific buttons that I use, and I thought about getting a little macro pad, and I thought, well, I bought the Tartarus and you can map to whatever you want. So I just mapped the buttons to that. I've got like the cut tool, copy tool, paste, whatever is all mapped into it, which is banging for video editing. That to the side. For gaming. So I think this is smooth, it's got super cool kind of clicky switches that bridge the gap between mechanical and normal, I guess. Normal? Is that what you want to call it? So it's got that. Mapping them through the app is super simple. You just plot whatever key you want, you can even put certain functions. It's got 3 different layers so that you can switch between. So on one you can have it, like for me, I have it for video editing. The next one you can have it for one game, the next one you can have it for a specific game. And you can plot the keys to basically whatever you want, whatever function, multimedia keys, keyboard keys, mouse clicks, mouse scrolls, blah blah. You can put it to any of that kind of stuff. and it's just so nice to have that there. I rarely use my keyboard now as such. I will just use the Tartarus depending on what I've got it set up for. Another couple of useful buttons. One is the space bar, which is kind of off there. That takes a little bit of getting used to, especially if you're using it for gaming, i.e. Warzone, for jumping or whatever. That takes a little bit of getting used to. You would think that where your hand position is, it's quite similar, and it is relatively similar, but I just find it quite hard to get a hang of. The other, so one of my favourite things, weirdly enough, is the button just above the joystick, which I use as a pause play button when I'm editing, and I can't even remember what I used it for in Warzone. But if we're going into gaming specifically, and specifically Warzone, so I like it. It's kind of the same as a keyboard. It doesn't really offer many more benefits apart from being super comfortable and pretty tactile. Just for the position of the switches, you can get to stuff quite a lot quicker. I didn't have any magical buttons. I would have them mapped as just the same as they are on a normal keyboard, so your W, A, S and D, and then your equipment up the top with jump, crouch and slide and whatever underneath. It just means that when you use this, it probably gives you a little bit of a tactical advantage because you get there quite quickly, and so you kind of, because the stuff's closer together, and if you imagine you got this ridge of buttons, when you're sitting in the middle on your WASD, then up behind it the stuff's risen up slightly, so you kind of get to the buttons quicker. I don't know, I'm not a master in it, but I prefer it to the keyboard in general. And now I know that this is the reason I bought it was for keyboard and mouse, and I still do use it, and I definitely do use it for video editing now. One of the main reasons is it looks good on a desk, right? Like, it looks cool. It's a Razer bit of gear. It fits nicely in a spot if you've got a massive kind of mouse mat on your desk. It just fits a cool space, and Razer gear always looks amazing. Now the lighting inside it, you can put it to whatever you want. You can map certain keys to certain colors. You can make it wave, rainbow, whatever you want to do. So obviously, as you know, everything I buy is kind of RGB, so that gets a massive tick from me. What have we covered? Comfort, gaming, video editing, how it looks. That's most of the stuff. Kind of just my view on it. The app is amazing to use as always. I've been over the Razer app for multiple other bits of gear, but it's a bang on piece of kit to use. So there's a couple of reasons here. If I was to go back, would I buy it again? For gaming, yeah, I prefer it to keyboard, so probably I would still go with that. For video editing, I'd suggest anybody buys this. If you're heavy into video editing and that's what you do on a sort of day-to-day, I'd recommend it. Better than a macro pad. I'd recommend it that way. And just if you're a kind of tech head that likes gear, that likes little bits of gaming gear, that likes RGB stuff that looks good, worth a buy. Slightly more expensive, but if you're getting to that point where you filled your desk with everything that you want, you're looking for extra little bits and pieces, good little purchase. Anyway, I'll leave a link to it down below in the description. Let me know your thoughts on it. If you already have one, shout up. If you're thinking about getting one or have any questions about it, let me know. As always, don't forget to click that sub button, helps me massively. Leave a like, leave a comment, blah, 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 blah. Till next time, see you then. Till next time.